Bay Area Studios. This is KPIX 5 News.
Good morning. It is Monday, November 9th. I'm Michelle Griego.
Hi, everyone. I'm Frank Malakote. It is nearly 6 o'clock on this Monday, and the Highway Patrol wants everyone to just slow down during what could be a rainy commute. Investigators say wet roads were a factor in two serious accidents in Sonoma County yesterday. One of them killed a woman, 27-year-old Julie Floyd, at Napa, lost control, hit an oncoming car on Porter Creek Road north of Santa Rosa.
Given the wet roads, she didn't have as good a traction, and that's what caused her to go sideways. Slow down in the wet weather, it definitely makes a difference.
In another accident, a driver who was trying to spin his wheels on purpose lost control here. His green car slammed into a white pickup truck carrying a family on D Street, Petaluma. Everyone in that crash survived.
All right, well, it is raining somewhere, right, Roberta?
Absolutely. So let's get to it. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Good morning, everyone. We have our eye on the storm. It's live. It's our high-def Doppler radar. It's picking up some pretty moderate to heavy rainfall in throughout portions of the North Bay. We also have some lightning strikes off the immediate coastside. Take a look at that. Can you see it at the bottom of your screen there? That's a batch of lightning that has stayed well organized. Should be raining in the San Francisco area within the next 30 minutes. Moderate to heavy rainfall right now around Highway 128. Swinging around to Highway 12 into the Santa Rosa area, digging to the south. That is the initial front itself. But then we have these renegade showers right now encompassing the Santa Cruz Mountains. Pretty moderate to heavy rain now entering Watsonville as well. Cloud cover over the Bay Bridge right now. The winds are out of the southwest under 10 miles per hour. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s and not climbing too high today. In fact, with the scattered showers throughout the day, the potential of isolated thunderstorms containing small hail, temperatures only in the 50s and few low 60s. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to track the storm together, plus tell you about rainfall totals, especially for Lake County and those burned out areas. That's coming up in less than 10 minutes.
All right, Roberta, as you were talking about that wet weather, it's prompting a flash flood watch in areas scorched by those recent wildfires, and that's because floods and mudslides can happen where vegetation was destroyed. Jackie Ward is in Middletown, one of the places where people are on the lookout for water and mud. Jackie?
Yeah, those heavy rains aren't here quite yet. In fact, it just started sprinkling a little while ago, a few minutes. And on our way here from San Francisco, it was a consistent sprinkle. So no doubt they are on their way up here this morning. This will make it the second Monday in a row with wet conditions. Of course, many people remember this town, Middletown, as the place that was scorched by the Valley Fire a couple short months ago. Back then, rain was exactly what they were all waiting for. But now the predicted rainfall amounts that Roberta will be updating you with throughout the morning have county officials concerned about flooding and mudslides. Of course, people who live here are worried too.
I'm worried about erosion in general and the trees coming down where they shouldn't go and going into the creeks and stuff.
So right now, rainwater just runs off the ground because of the damage caused by the fire. There's no vegetation to help absorb the water. It's the erosion that could lead to major problems later on today. So hopefully we'll be talking to county officials to see what plans are in place to make sure they control those problems as best as possible. At the Middletown Fire Station, Jackie Ward, KPIX 5.
In the mountain, chains are required this morning along parts of Interstate 80 and Highway 50. It was snowing in the Sierra for much of the day yesterday. A lot of drivers too were caught off guard.
We just couldn't believe it that the traffic came to a standstill.
We just hit bumper to bumper and they wouldn't tell us exactly what was going on.
Well, it was all about the snow. Caltrans and the CHP have been out directing traffic overnight. They're warning drivers to take it extra slow up there.
Yeah, you have to be careful out there, Gianna.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, especially for days like today where we're going to have a lot of rain on the roadways. So you want to be very careful as you head out the door. We do have a couple of accidents already brewing out there. Let's start off in the South Bay. Northbound and southbound 17, you're going to see delays. Also, we have reports of a fatal accident on Almaden Valley. Almaden Expressway southbound lanes are closed near Camden. More details on that with Kit Doan, a live report coming right up. But right now, northbound 17, right at Summit Road, we do have lanes blocked for an accident here as well. Traffic pretty busy. We're seeing some pretty decent backup as you work your way through there. Elsewhere, northbound 101 through San Jose also pretty slow near McKee. Metering lights are on at the Bay Bridge. You can see traffic is backed up almost to the maze at this point. Also, as you work your way westbound Highway 4 out of Antioch into Pittsburgh, we're seeing brake lights through there. And taking a look at conditions headed towards 680 via 580 westbound. Lots of brake lights there. Westbound 580 slow and go Altamont Pass to 680. That'll take you about 23 minutes right now. Slow and go out of Tracy. Not too bad, though. One of our bright spots on the Nimitz Freeway, north and southbound 880, actually looking pretty good through Oakland. Back to you guys.
All right, and as Gianna mentioned, emergency crews are on the scene of a deadly car accident in the Almaden Valley. KPIX5's Kit Doe is live at the scene with the latest. Kit?
Good morning. We are unusually close to the scene right now, less than 100 feet away from where this truck crashed. There is a tarp covering the victim's remains in the car. We can see that there is debris strewn about everywhere. Suitcases, shoes, and tools. It looks like this truck was fully loaded when it crashed. This all happened just before 4 o'clock this morning. Investigators say the truck lost control, crashed directly into a tree right off of Almaden Expressway. The driver was killed instantly. 2 other passengers suffered critical injuries. One of the victims was able to get out on his own, but they were both taken to the hospital. To give you some idea of just how hard the impact was, rescuers say they found a dolly that had been thrown from the truck up into the tree 30 feet high. We do not yet know what caused this crash, whether it was alcohol, fatigue, the weather, or distraction. Southbound Almaden Expressway is closed between Redmond and Camden. That is good news because the busy part of it is going northbound on Almaden. We're live here in South San Jose. Kit Doe, KPIX5.
Dozens of people displaced after 2 large fires forced them out of their Bay Area homes. No one seriously injured, and it's still not clear what caused either fire. One fire began at a tire shop at 16th and Shotwell Streets in San Francisco and spread to nearby apartments yesterday morning. More now from KPIX5's Joe Vasquez.
Get out now! I saw somebody facing the window and I yelled at him to get out. There's a fire.
Larry Maroka shot this video with his cell phone just as the fire was starting.
It was horrific. It was really bad.
As the flames from inside the rolling stock tire shop grew and spread, apartments next door began to catch on fire.
We saw the flames out the back window, and the windows were extremely hot. So at that point, we knew we needed to get out.
23 people were burned out of their homes with only seconds to bring valuables with them.
Grab your computer, grab your camera, grab, those things that are expensive to replace.
The fire department says the tire store roof collapsed. 2 apartments next door were gutted by fire. Several others had considerable smoke damage. The apartment building is red tagged, which means it is uninhabitable for now, at least. It may have to be torn down.
It's like probably the size of a quarter block. It was just in a big pillar.
The Sunday fire, visible from miles away, is now out, but officials are worried about hot spots and the possibility that parts of the building could still come tumbling down, a danger to the public.
I mean, there's been a lot of fires in the Mission, and this just puts more pressure. I mean, housing is a big issue, and, that's 23 more people that need to find a place to live, and it really can be very difficult in this type of market.
I'm Joe Vasquez, KPIX5.
And that other fire tore through an apartment complex in South San Jose. It started early yesterday morning on Walnut Blossom Drive. Residents say they heard an explosion moments before that fire kicked in. The flames destroyed several apartments on the top floor. Water fire did major damage to the units below as well. One firefighter treated for minor injuries. Red Cross is now helping 37 people that have been displaced.
3 correctional deputies are due in court today in connection with the beating death of a Santa Clara County inmate. Rafael Rodriguez, Jerry Lubrin, and Matthew Ferris will likely plead not guilty today. They've been charged with murder. They also face a separate charge of assault for allegedly beating another inmate prior to the death of Michael Tyree. The county has appointed a commission to carry out a top-to-bottom review of the jail's problems and to suggest solutions. But the commission learned last week the county has been planning to hire a consultant to perform a parallel investigation. Commission Chair retired Judge LaDoris Cordell has threatened to quit if the county does not divulge more information. The county defended its position, saying state disclosure laws allow the report to be kept confidential.
Today, opening statements begin in San Francisco in the trial of Raymond Shrimp Boy Chow. He faces charges of racketeering, murder, and money laundering. Federal investigators say Chow ordered the killing of a gang leader back in 2006. Chow was also accused of drug trafficking and other illegal sales. That investigation led to a guilty plea by State Senator Leland Yee for accepting bribes from undercover agents.
Time now is 6:08, mounting scrutiny of Ben Carson's past as he takes on the role of frontrunner. How Carson is responding to questions about his background.
And the Pentagon has cleared up the big mystery surrounding a strange light spotted from Southern California all the way here to the Bay Area.
And we're watching something else fall from the sky this morning. Good morning, everyone, from the KPIX Weather Center. It's live, it's high-def Doppler radar, and we will share with you where we currently have lightning.
Lanes blocked in San Francisco, backing your traffic up onto the Bay Bridge. I'll tell you what that's all about coming right up.
And we're standing by for rain. Good morning, everyone. 6:12. Take a look at your TV screen. Live high-def Doppler radar picking up some moderate to heavy rainfall in the North Bay. But look at that right there, a cluster of lightning strikes. It should be raining in San Francisco within the next 33 minutes, but we'll keep our eye on the lightning. Moderate rain now around Highway 101 and 12 intersection. I've got your complete weather report coming up in less than 5 minutes.
Thanks, Roberta. 6:13 your time. Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson is pushing back against questions about his honesty. Speaking on Face the Nation over the weekend, Carson talked about the accuracy of his life story. Published reports have cast doubt on his supposedly violent childhood, the circumstances of his conversion to Christianity, and whether he was offered a scholarship to West Point.
Why do people put this stuff out there to make the accusation, to try to make somebody seem dishonest, and then when it is disproven, oh, well, let's talk about something else. Oh, well, you said this when you were in kindergarten. Give me a break.
The Republicans will hold their fourth debate tomorrow in Milwaukee. In the next half hour, we're going to chat with our political analyst, Melissa Kane, on why this debate will be different from the earlier face-offs.
More than 100 University of Missouri students gathered last night to pray, sing, and read Bible verses. A student walkout is planned today to call attention to a series of racial incidents on campus. As CBS News' Don Champion reports, there are growing calls for the student's president to resign.
Locked in arms in a picture, football players at the University of Missouri have threatened to walk out over concerns about racial incidents at the school. Over the weekend, the team said it would not take the field anymore until University President Tim Wolf resigns or is removed. For months, campus groups have complained about Wolf's handling of recent racial harassment incidents on campus. Graduate student Jason Butler has staged a week-long hunger strike.
Administration has failed to take tangible actions to really make campus safer for not just black students, but all marginalized students.
In one incident this year, a swastika was found in a residence hall drawn with human feces. Students also report having racial slurs yelled at them in at least 2 incidents. For his part, Wolf issued a statement Sunday saying he is dedicated to addressing what he calls complex societal issues, but has not said whether he will step down. Don Champion, CBS News.
Missouri's football team is scheduled to play BYU this Saturday. The boycott could cost the university more than $1 million if the team forfeits the game.
Well, expect traffic to be a little slow going around AT&T Park today. A live look at 4th and King Streets in San Francisco at the Central Subway construction site. It's phase 2. This morning's commute will be the first real test since road closures started over the weekend. And construction crews are installing track to connect the future Central Subway. Project is an extension of the T3rd Street line taking passengers to and from North Beach. The closure is scheduled to last through Saturday evening. And a lot of folks talking about this. A mysterious light that streaked across the night sky on Saturday sent some people into a panic.
And no, it was not a UFO. It turns out the blue glow visible across California was a Trident II missile test conducted by the U.S. Navy. The Pentagon says the missile was not armed and that they generally don't announce missile testing.
That might catch your attention, though.
Yeah, it would. And I don't think people...
A missile?
Right, yeah. I think people thought it was a meteor. They didn't know what it was.
But it came from the USS Kentucky off the coast, and I have learned that there will be more testings, and they'll try to alert the local airports in advance because it's coming off the Los Angeles coast.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How are we doing on the roadways today?
It is busy out there, and we're dealing with slick surfaces as well. So give yourself a few extra minutes as you head out the door. We're going to start off with a serious accident in Almaden Hills, a deadly crash. Here's a live look at the scene there. You've got the investigation continues here. Almaden Expressway, right adjacent to that between Camden and Redwood there. We've got reports of this this closure there. Southbound Almaden Expressway is what's affected. Northbound still moving okay, but again, in and around that area, expect some activity and possible delays. Kito is live at the scene, and he'll continue to bring us live updates from there. Almaden Valley, though, that's where the closure is. Elsewhere throughout the South Bay, we do have this accident still brewing. Northbound 17 right at Summit Road. It is causing a bit of a backup all the way to Glenwood Drive now at this point. Left lane is blocked, so give yourself a few extra minutes there. Elsewhere, as you work your way through San Jose itself, we're seeing some delays out of Morgan Hill. Brake lights again near McKee. South 101 at Cesar Chavez. We do report to this accident. Couple cars involved with injuries. It's now blocking lanes. CHP and fire crews are on the scene. Making matters worse, we do have reports of an accident westbound 80 right at 7. So that's causing a bit of a backup on the Skyway, which means it's going to cause a trickle effect for your Bay Bridge commute this morning. 24 minutes now. Carquinez Bridge to the maze. Metering lights are on. You're backed up into the maze at this point. And again, 2 separate accidents once you get into San Francisco. Westbound Highway 4 bogged down 18 miles per hour as you work your way into Pittsburgh. And looks like we've got some pretty decent delays. Altamont Pass to 680. 22-minute ride right now. Slick surfaces in some spots. Let's talk about that rain. Here's Roberta.
Good morning, everyone. The time is now 6:18, and I have to be honest with you here. I have not seen this much lightning in years just off the coast of the Bay Area. At this particular time, we are getting clusters of lightning, as you see it right there. A lot of this is cloud to cloud. We are picking up some lightning strikes that is going cloud to water out over the open waters right now. But this leads me to believe we will see an isolated thunderstorm containing some small hail at any point of the day today. This is off the San Francisco coast right now. We should begin to see the rain in under 25 minutes beginning in the city of San Francisco. We do have the moderate to heavy rainfall right now across the northern portion of the Bay Area, right around that Highway 12 and also, 121 corridor right there in the Santa Rosa area. Anywhere from Calistoga through St. Helena, the vineyards are just loving the rain. We have an isolated cell right now over the Watsonville area as well. We do have right now our live weather camera looking out towards the Bay Bridge. Mostly cloudy skies, peaks of some sun. We've got the rain moving in with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Here's what you need to know today. You do need that umbrella, but keep a watchful eye to the sky for the potential of that isolated thunderstorm. Again, with the cold air mass, hail is possible. Another storm slated for next Sunday. Here is the front. It went through yesterday. This is the core, the center of the area, low pressure. Behind it, we have a lot of instability. That's why once the front passes through the morning commute, we'll pick up some hit and miss pop-up showers throughout the day. And when you see this popcorn effect looking here, that is where we have the instability. So we could see that thunderstorm blossom. So you see, for the most part, the rain tapers off by the evening hours, but we could see a random scattered shower till about this time tomorrow morning. And when we tally it up, throughout the Bay Area, anywhere from about 2/10 to about a half an inch of rain, heavier amounts towards Napa Valley, and about 3/4 of an inch of rain. Up to 18 inches of snow. That'll be in the Greater Lake Tahoe area. Winter weather advisory in effect there, with our Lake County and Solano County flash flood watch in effect. It's dicey across the northern half of the state of California. Today, our temperatures only in the 50s and low 60s, southwest wind to 15 miles per hour. We've got sunshine filtering in on Tuesday through Saturday, and next storm system late on Sunday. Drive carefully.
All right, Roberta, thank you. Time now is 6:20. 49ers running back Reggie Bush may sue the city of St. Louis over his career-threatening injury. Why he says the city should pay up.
Good morning, everyone. In 3 seasons with the Jaguars, Blaine Gabbert went 5-22 as a starting quarterback. But now he's got a shot to turn his career around as the anointed starter in San Francisco. Gabbert came out on the field with the man he replaced, Colin Kaepernick. Second quarter, he found Garrett Sellett for the 11-yard touchdown to make it 17-6 49ers. He threw for 185 and 2 touchdowns. Under 4 minutes to play, Atlanta down 17-13. Falcons stopped at the 1. They settled for a field goal, and the lead is cut to 17-16. Now, Atlanta thought they were going to get the ball back. Didn't happen. Kendall Gaskins ices it with a first down. 49ers win 17-16. Gabbert is king. Raiders in Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger, fourth quarter foot injury. Final 90 seconds. Derek Carr to Michael Crabtree. It's a tie game at 35 and a thriller. Under a minute left. Pittsburgh back up. Landry Jones to Antonio Brown. 57-yard game. Brown finished the game with 17 catches, 284 yards. That set up this. Chris Boswell, game-winning field goal, 18 yards out. Good. Pittsburgh wins 38-35, dropping the Raiders from an AFC wildcard spot. at the moment. As for the 49ers, they got a bye next week, so get ready for 2 weeks of the quarterback controversy. Do you start Gabbert? You go back to Kaepernick. Right now, Blaine is 1-0. I'm Dennis O'Donnell. See you tonight.
Got to go with the winner. Okay, play of the day. We got an OT thriller. We got Titans. We got Saints. The pass from Tennessee's Marcus Mariota, the rookie, looked like an interception. We'll watch the two Saints, run into each other. And former Niner, that's Delaney Walker right there, the big guy rumbling some 61 yards for the touchdown. Titans had only won one game. It was their opener. Well, they won again in overtime. 34-28, thanks in large part to that right there. Your play of the day.
625, college and high school students will come together today to push for a plan to boost minority enrollment at UC Berkeley.
Well, here it is, the rain Middletown so desperately needs, but too much of it could cause some major problems. We'll tell you more about them in a few minutes.
Live from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
The Bay Area gets another round of rain this morning. Wet roads caused a number of accidents yesterday, and the CHP is warning about slick conditions once again as the morning moves along. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, November 9th. I'm Michelle Griego.
Hi, everyone. I'm Frank Malakote. It is nearly 6:30. We're going to have much more in the areas preparing for potential floods in just a moment. But first, let's check in with Roberta, who is tracking this big storm.
And if everything stays organized, and if our timing serves us correctly, within the city of San Francisco, within the next 15 to 17 minutes, not only will we see the light to moderate rainfall, but we could see the potential of a thunderstorm. Our live high-def Doppler radar is picking up numerous lightning strikes just due west of the city by the bay, and you can see it clearly indicated there by those lightning strikes. As we zoom on in, it's a cluster of activities that's been well organized, and again, it's taken a direct aim towards the peninsula, Daly City, into San Francisco. We've had the pretty moderate to heavy downpours this morning in throughout the Santa Rosa area, and this is the area, Middletown, all the way to Clear Lake, where we have a flash flood watch in effect for Lake and Solano counties due to over an inch of rain anticipated. Isolated renegade showers also at this hour in throughout the Watsonville area, and it's actually at this moment some pretty moderate to heavy rainfall. This is our live weather camera looking out towards the Bay Bridge, where we are anticipating the rain to begin within the next 15 minutes. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s, and today's daytime highs only in the 50s and low 60s with scattered showers. An isolated thunderstorm containing small hail. We'll tell you how much rain and when it's going to end. That's coming up a little bit later in this newscast.
All right, Roberta, thank you. Well, first it was the wildfires, and now it's the threat of flooding and mudslides. A flash flood watch has been issued for areas scarred by the Valley Fire. Jackie Ward is in Middletown, one of the areas that is the most vulnerable. Jackie?
Well, in just the last 15 to 20 minutes, we've seen everything from a steady rainfall to now back to sprinkling. But as you heard Roberta just say, this will be the second Monday in a row with wet conditions. Middletown, of course, is remembered for the Valley Fire that scorched this area just a couple of short months ago. Back then, rain was exactly what they were looking for. Well, now the predicted rainfall amounts that we will be updating you with throughout the morning have county officials concerned about flooding and mudslides, and the people who live here are worried too.
We've had floods before, but the fire's kind of a new thing for me. There's been other fires that I wasn't involved in, but this is a bad one.
Right now, rainwater just runs off the ground because of the damage caused by the fire. There's no vegetation to help absorb any of that water. The erosion is what could cause major problems later on today. So county officials are standing by with a plan in place, ready for those major problems that hopefully won't get too out of control. Live from Middletown Fire Station, Jackie Ward, KPIX 5.
And the storm has Gianna on watch, too. Take it away.
Yeah, we've got a couple of serious accidents now in San Francisco. In fact, traffic alert's been issued for both accidents. Westbound 80, just as you come off the Skyway there, right at 101, and one on 101 itself, right at Cesar Chavez. So two separate accidents here. Traffic alerts on both of them. You've got lanes blocked, so big delays as you work your way coming off the Bay Bridge this morning. At last check, we saw delays as far beyond the island at this point, but checking our sensors there, you can see in our map, I think it's extended past there, probably as you work your way near the incline. Metering lights are on at the Bay Bridge anyway, so you're going to see some pretty big delays through there, backed up into the maze at this point. Coming off that East Shore Freeway, we've got got a bit of a backup there. Also, looks like it extends beyond Richmond at this point and heading across the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. According to Roberta, we're getting reports of some sprinkles and light rain through there. So slick surfaces as you work your way through there. Some delays as well through the Altamont Pass. Westbound 580 all the way towards 680. That'll take you 23 minutes now. We're going to see some brake lights before that coming out of Tracy as well. Once you get to 680, eases up just a bit, but south 680 going to see delays as well. Looks like the San Mateo Bridge also starting to stack up this morning, both directions. A little sluggish, mostly though on that westbound side, working our way from 880 towards 101 into Foster City and headed to the South Bay. North 17 at Summit Road. That left lane's been blocked for at least 45 minutes now. We've got some pretty good delays there beyond Glenwood at this point. And also, we are still dealing with this fatal accident investigation in Almaden Valley. Kit Doe will have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Southbound Almaden Expressway remains closed and looks like some brake lights westbound Highway 4 Antioch into Pittsburgh. Back to you guys.
All right, Gianna, thank you. Crews hope to reopen a flooded Fremont thoroughfare later this morning. A water main burst on Paseo Padre Parkway just before 8 p.m. Sunday, and southbound lanes are still closed between Mission Boulevard and South Grimmer. No word on how long repairs will take. Water mains sometimes break in that area because of movement in the Hayward Fault.
Protesters plan a rally at noontime today at UC Berkeley's administration building. They claim most minority groups are underrepresented among the university's student body. The group is calling for UC Berkeley to balance its enrollment by admitting the top 10% of graduates from each public high school in Oakland.
49ers running back Reggie Bush may sue over the injury that ended his season and possibly his career. It happened last week during this play against the Rams in St. Louis. Bush was returning a punt when he ran out of bounds, slipped on the concrete, and tore a ligament in his knee. CBSSports.com reports that Bush plans to sue the city of St. Louis, which owns and operates the Rams Stadium, the Edward Jones Dome.
Two large fires forced dozens of people out of their Bay Area homes. No one was seriously injured. Still not clear what caused either fire over the weekend. One fire began at a tire shop at 16th and Shotwell Street in the city and spread to nearby apartments yesterday morning. 23 people were burned out of their homes with very little time to bring valuables with them. The other fire tore through an apartment complex in South San Jose. That started early yesterday morning on Walnut Blossom Drive and quickly grew to 3 alarms. Residents say they heard an explosion moments before that fire got underway. Flames destroyed several apartments on the top floor, and all the water and fire did major damage to the units below. Firefighters say the flames went shooting through the roof when they arrived. One woman says she heard a knock on her door and shouts to get out.
I opened the door and all I saw was flames.
Did you think that your apartment was going to catch fire?
I thought so.
One firefighter treated for minor injuries. The Red Cross is helping the 37 people that were displaced.
And we are continuing to follow breaking news in San Jose, a deadly accident along Almaden Expressway. KPIX5's Kit Doe is live at the scene with the very latest. Kit?
Good morning. We are unusually close to the scene right now, and we're watching a tow truck crew attach a tow line to this vehicle. That thing has been pulled taut, and it looks like they are getting ready to pull this vehicle out of this embankment right now. We can see that there is debris strewn about everywhere, suitcases, shoes, tools, and a bike. It looks like this truck was fully loaded when it crashed. Now, this all happened just before 4 o'clock this morning. Investigators say the truck lost control, crashed into a tree directly off of Almaden Expressway. The driver was killed instantly. 2 other passengers suffered critical injuries. One of those victims was actually able to get out on his own and then taken to the hospital. To give you some idea of just how hard the impact was, rescuers say they found a dolly that had been thrown from the truck up into a tree 30 feet high.
It tells us a lot of force going on, a lot of force transfer, because if it's going from one place to another, it takes a lot of energy to throw it from that distance. So that'll be part of the investigation.
Now, we do not yet know what caused this crash, whether speed, alcohol, fatigue, or the weather was a factor, or even a distraction was a factor. But they're telling us that now southbound Almaden Expressway closed in between Redmond and Camden. With this tow truck here, they look to have this thing open by 7 a.m. or 7:30 at the latest. We're live in South San Jose. Kit Doe, KPIX5.
Time now is 6:37. The Republican presidential contenders are preparing for another debate, the first with Ben Carson leading in the polls, which should be different this time around.
And the feds are considering new rules for cable boxes, how the plan could save you some money. That and more when we come back.
Good morning, everybody. Taking a look outside, we have mostly cloudy skies in the city by the bay, the city of San Francisco, but within the next 6 minutes, we should have the light to moderate rainfall there. Also, it looks like a thunderstorm is ready and poised in position to move into the bay. Already reports of lightning and thunder in throughout the San Rafael area. I got your complete forecast in less than 4 minutes.
Well, the same storms bringing us rain here is dropping a whole lot of snow up in the Sierra. Chains are required this morning along parts of Interstate 80 and Highway 50. Finally, for all the skiers, it was snowing there much of the day, and more is in the forecast today. Caltrans and CHP were out directing traffic overnight. And talk is heating up about a potential rate hike by the Fed, speaking of business.
Here now is KCBS Radio's financial reporter, Jason Brooks. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Frank. A lot of celebrating going on last week with that big job gain, 271,000 in October. But the Fed is really looking at that as a good reason why they should raise rates at their next meeting in December. The San Francisco president, John Williams, told an economic forum in Arizona that the labor market is almost back to full employment now, and that inflation is moving closer to the Fed's 2% target, and that if the data continues to come in strong over the next month, that will push the Fed much closer to making that decision, increasing rates for the first time in several years. It's been 9 years since the last rate hike, and rates have remained at their record low now for coming up on 7 years. Apple will start selling the new iPad Pro Wednesday. Online ordering, at least, will start showing up in stores on Friday in about 40 countries. Apple first debuted the iPad Pro 2 months ago, so it's long-awaited arrival out there for Apple fans. And Apple really looking for a boost from the iPad Pro. iPad sales have really been slumping over the past couple of years. Less than 10 million sold in Apple's recent quarter, lower than what it did the prior quarter and compared to a year earlier. iPad Pro said to have much better computing power, on par with a desktop. Has a 12.9-inch screen starting at $800. Stock market off to a lower start this morning. We're on a 6-week winning streak, so a little bit of selling going on. Dow dropping just over 100 points, NASDAQ down by 19, and the S&P is falling by 10 points. Michelle and Frank, back to you.
Tough Monday start. Okay, Jason Brooks, KCBS News. Thanks, Jason.
Some Capitol Hill lawmakers are calling for the FCC to phase out set-top boxes for cable and satellite TV. Customers pay monthly rental fees for the devices. Senator Edward Markey of Massachusetts says that's now an unnecessary cost. That's because new technology allows programming to go directly through smart TVs or smaller devices that people can purchase.
Let's get you outside for a little traffic. A busy day on a Monday.
It has been busy, especially as you work your way out of San Francisco this morning, coming off the Bay Bridge. We've had 2 separate traffic alerts. They've canceled one of them. One of them still in effect, though. Southbound 101, just past 80, not too far from Cesar Chavez. We do have reports of 2 lanes still shut down, causing a big backup there. Now, the other traffic alert on the Skyway has now been cleared, but slow and go conditions as you work your way across the whole span of the Bay Bridge. A line of red there, which indicates some speeds under 25 miles per hour, 7 miles per hour in some spots through there. So westbound 80 now struggling as you work your way towards the Bay Bridge. You're going to see delays out of Berkeley, Oakland. Looks like beyond Richmond there now at this point. We're seeing some pretty decent delays there all the way into the maze. Here's a live look at the Bay Bridge, and you can see traffic is stacked up. It is just crawling along there, not moving too easily. So give yourself a few extra minutes. 34 minutes now westbound 80 Carquinez Bridge as you work your way towards the maze. Let's get a live look now at conditions on the San Mateo Bridge. You might try using that instead as an alternate. 22 minutes, 880 to 101. We do have an accident just before the toll plaza there. That was just reported, so that may cause a bit of a backup there. We're seeing delays coming off 880 as well as you work your way through there near Hayward. Now checking your conditions off the Highway 4 towards the East Shore Freeway. Looking a little busy there, and again, once you get westbound 80, you're going to see delays. Cutting across the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, we have reports of some light rain through there. Extra busy as you work your way westbound near the toll plaza, but the rest of your Marin County commute actually looks pretty good into San Francisco. Speaking of traveling into San Francisco, live look really quick at King Street. You can see traffic is going to be pretty busy there. They're working hard for the Central Subway project. Closures on 4th and King, so plan for delays. Back to you guys. Over to Roberta.
Good morning. Our weather watchers have been checking in, and at this particular time, some of them have been reporting some thunder and lightning. So says Kathy Munch, and she is just outside the Santa Rosa area. I want to focus in on this one right here, 42 degrees. That would be Kathy. There she is. And again, thunder, lightning. Also, we did hear from our reporter over in the San Rafael area reporting lightning flashes as well. That would be Linda Mather, and she's been one of our weather watchers checking in with us every morning. And at this particular time, it's live. It's our high-def Doppler radar. radar. We had the light rain showers now pushing into the city by the bay, San Francisco, and I have to tell you, I have not seen this many lightning strikes in years off the coast of San Francisco. So at this particular time, I have to say a thunderstorm is likely this morning and throughout the afternoon hours. You can see the cluster of lightning right here, and then watch as it trails off all the way back there. So watchful eye to the sky this morning as thunderstorms are off our immediate coastline. We do have the light rain now falling in throughout the northern portion of the Bay Area from San Rafael through Larkspur and entering the Golden Gate Bridge. Upstream we go, the Middletown area, and from St. Helena all the way into Yountville, Calistoga with some light to moderate rain. We also have a cluster of renegade showers running in advancement of this front over the Watsonville area. This is sunrise over the Bay Bridge where we do have a lot of instability. The rain is now beginning to push in, and that potential for a thunderstorm is very high. Temperatures in the 40s and the 50s. And what you need to know today, with that thunderstorm, we could see some small hail. We do have a flash flood watch in effect for Lake and Solano counties. Next system after this one, next Sunday night. Here you have the initial front itself. This is the core of the area of low pressure as it begins to push through. Our futurecast clearly illustrates mostly cloudy skies, but then as the morning progresses with the rain, it will continue to push through the Bay Area during the morning hours. Then behind it, a lot of instability during the afternoon. We could even see a random scattered shower by this time tomorrow before it all tapers off. When the totals come in, we should see now it looks like a ½ an inch of rain and throughout the eastern portion of our Bay Area. Now we're approaching a ½ an inch of rain in San Francisco. Earlier this morning, this was less than 2/10. The big difference is a thunderstorm with brief, heavy downpours. And again, hail is possible. A ½ an inch easily in the San Jose area. Winter weather advisory in effect for the High Sierra. 18 inches of snow, nearly 2 feet in the highest elevations. The northern half of the state is dicey today. It'll be Southern California's turn tomorrow. There's your sun up and sundown, and it looks like smack in between today. 50s and 60s, southwest winds to 15 miles per hour. Keep in mind, a thunderstorm is likely today with the random scattered shower. Some of these thunderstorms could contain hail. Temperatures 50s, 60s, sunny skies Tuesday through Sunday. Drive safely today.
Thanks, Roberta. On to politics now. Republican presidential hopefuls hitting the debate stage once again tomorrow night.
KPIX political analyst Melissa Kane joins us now with more on what to look out for. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're loving this.
I do. I love debate season. Yes. I do. Well, you know, but folks at home might not be that excited. They may be thinking, oh, it's just another debate. But this debate will actually be a little different from prior debates because we are now down to 8 candidates. Only 8. Now, in the last 3 debates, there have always been 10 or 11 candidates, but this one will be a smaller stage. If you look there, those numbers correspond to where these guys are in the polls. These are the 8 that are going to be on the stage. And that means there's going to be more time to hear from each candidate in this debate. In fact, in tomorrow's debate, candidates get 90 seconds to respond to each question, and that is way more time than in the last 3 debates, where answers were either 30 or 60 seconds. Now, the hope is that with a smaller stage and longer time to speak, we can get past some talking points and generalities and into more specifics from these candidates. Now, of course, we didn't get down to 8 without bumping a few. Chris Christie and Mike Huckabee did not have the polling numbers to make it to the big stage this time, so they will participate in an undercard debate with Rick Santorum and Bobby Jindal. I'll note that George Pataki, Lindsey Graham, and Jim Gilmore didn't even have the support to make it to the undercard debate this time, and they will not be in the mix at all. In past undercard debates, Lindsey Graham has been known to spice some things up with his one-liners, so I think some people are going to be sad he's not in there. But them's the breaks. Maybe next time.
Yeah, he often had some good lines.
He was really hilarious.
I guess the subject matter is going to be a little bit different in this debate too, right?
That's right. So this debate is being put on by the Fox Business Network, and it's moderated by Gerard Baker from the Wall Street Journal and Neil Cavuto and Maria Bartiromo, who both host shows about business. So we should expect a focus on economics in this debate. Now, as far as the candidates go, there are 3 things that we're going to be looking for. Number 1, will Jeb Bush go after Marco Rubio again? Now, Bush did that in the last debate, and it was generally regarded as awkward and unsuccessful and pretty much gave Rubio an opportunity to look good. So will Bush double down or will he back off? Second, who, if anyone, will go after Ben Carson? Now, he is seen as this gentlemanly and likable candidate. So in debates past, the other candidates have not really gone after him. Even Donald Trump was nice to him in the last debate. But he's made some interesting statements recently, and other candidates could smell blood in the water and think that now is the time to attack. So will someone do it? And if they do, what is the response from Carson and what is the response from viewers? And last, the third thing to look for is Rand Paul. Now, he barely made it to the stage for this debate, so he needs a big moment if he wants to make it to the main stage for the next debate. So there you go, Bush versus Rubio, anyone versus Carson, and Paul versus the polls. That's what we're going to be looking for.
Yeah, a lot to look out for. All right, how about the details of this debate?
So, as you said earlier, the debate is tomorrow night. The undercard debate is at 4 p.m. our time. The main event is at 6 p.m. our time. These are going to last about 2 hours apiece, and you can watch them on the Fox Business Network. Now, if you don't get that channel, or like me, you don't really know what channels you get, the Fox Business Network, I really don't. My husband's like, it's 723. I'm like, I don't know. The Fox News Network, and Fox Business Network, I apologize, is streaming the debate live for free, so anyone can watch. Just go to foxbusiness.com to tune in tomorrow night.
Somewhere in the 760s, give or take. It's way up there.
It's I have no idea. Yeah, I really don't. I'll be on the internet.
All right, Melissa, thanks.
Thanks, Melissa. Well, this week, Mayor Libby Schaaf will head to New York, hoping to convince the NFL the Raiders should stay in their city in Oakland. The Raiders are among 3 teams considering a move to L.A. County. Oakland officials are scrambling to put together a plan for a new football stadium that would not cost taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars.
We believe that when we provide clarity to the team about our participation, they're going to have the tools they need to go out and put together a stadium plan that works for them.
NFL could make a decision as soon as January. Time now, 6:53. Football players at the University of Missouri threaten to bench themselves over concerns about racial discrimination and harassment. Coming up.
Rain in Middletown, that's a good thing. Too much rain, that's a bad thing. We'll tell you what the problems that could arise today are in just a few minutes.
5 things to know at the 55. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Barack Obama will meet in Washington today, hoping to repair their strained relationship following the Iran nuclear agreement. Also on the agenda, the recent wave of violence between Palestinians and Israelis.
Top officials at the University of Missouri system meet today amid calls for the school's president to be removed. Many students believe Tim Wolf hasn't done enough to address incidents of racial discrimination on campus. Dozens of Missouri football players are refusing to play this weekend unless he's removed.
Opening statements begin today in San Francisco in the trial of alleged Chinatown crime boss Raymond Shrimp Boy Chow. The FBI says Chow ordered the killing of a gang leader in 2006. Chow is also accused of drug trafficking and other illegal activity.
More than 20 people are out looking for a place to live after a fire at San Francisco's tire shop here spread to nearby apartments. The fire started yesterday morning at 16th and Shotwell Streets in the Mission area. Nobody was hurt.
The CHP is warning drivers to slow down for the morning commute. Slick roads are blamed for at least 1 death during the first round of rain yesterday. 27-year-old Julie Floyd of Napa was killed when she lost control and hit an oncoming car near Santa Rosa.
I'm Jackie Ward, live in Middletown, where they're having the second rainy Monday in a row, but that's good news for them. Of course, you may remember Middletown is the one that got torched just a couple of months ago in the Valley Fire, and that's when they wanted the rain to come. Now it's here, but it could cause some major problems like flooding and mudslides. Right now, the rainwater just runs off the ground, so there's no vegetation to help absorb any of the water, so the erosion is what could cause major problems. But county officials do have a plan in place. They're ready to monitor this flood watch as it continues throughout the rest of the day. In Middletown, Jackie Ward, KPX 5.
All right, expect big delays as you work your way towards the Bay Bridge this morning. We have a trickle effect from a couple of accidents earlier in San Francisco. Meter and lights are on. You're backed up into the maze at the Bay Bridge. In fact, once you get across the span, expect slow-and-go conditions as well for this accident. South 101 at Cesar Chavez clearing. Elsewhere, westbound 92, 880 to 101, 22-minute ride right now. A little bit better as you work your way instead of using this instead of the Bay Bridge. All right, let's take a look at your forecast. With all of that, here's Roberta.
Good morning, everybody. If we go ahead and call on our live high-def Doppler radar, we can see easily that we're picking up some light to moderate precipitation across the North Bay. I want to bring this on out, though, because you can see that front just slicing across the Bay Area. Look at all the numerous lightning strikes off the shoreline. I have to say a thunderstorm is likely in throughout the San Francisco area through Daly City, perhaps even under 30 minutes from now, if all that does stay organized. Pretty moderate rainfall associated with that. In fact, the computer models are now updating. Because of these thunderstorms, we could see easily a half an inch of rain across the immediate Bay Area, also across the Santa Clara Valley. Right now, we're picking up moderate rainfall in San Anselmo and a lightning strike. Can you see that lightning bolt right there? Just near San Rafael, where weather watcher Linda Mather said she saw the flash of lightning. There you have the darkening skies over the Bay Bridge. We're in the 40s and 50s. A wet day today with random scattered showers and isolated thunderstorm, 50s and 60s.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be careful out there.
Yeah, take it slow, folks. We'll keep you updated all morning long.